So in this video, we're going to talk about having a bunch of agents in a single workflow. I'm not a fan of these kinds of workflows because they can be unstable, but maybe someone will find it useful. This setup lets you send emails, add things to your calendar, move emails around, and reply to emails. Let's take a look. Let's do an overview of the main workflow first, and then we'll quickly go through the details. Here, our main trigger is Telegram. We'll be sending a message to a Telegram bot. And if it's a voice message, it gets transcribed and then sent to our assistant. If it's text, it goes straight to our assistant. And here, it has several tools connected to it. This is a separate workflow, the email agent. Let's open it right away. This is what it looks like. Then, the next crucial workflow in our system is the calendar agent, which can directly create, update, and even delete various events within your personal calendar. Break time equals 0.5s / following this, we then have the essential contacts agent. So for contacts, it searches in our database. Here, accordingly, you can connect different databases. It doesn't matter which ones. I'm using Airtable as an example. Then there's the agent that is responsible for generating content. We can also see it here. Here, only Tavily, or Tavily AI, is connected, a powerful and effective service that thoroughly searches the internet. Here, just like the other tools, a calculator is also connected. For example, if you need to do some calculations. I'll try to explain as simply as possible how it works and show it with an example. Alright, now let's check how it works. Please schedule a meeting with Sergey Chabadze for today, specifically at 8 o'clock in the evening, and also make sure to send him an email notification about this scheduled appointment. Let's take a look. So, our trigger is successfully activated. It diligently gathers all the necessary data, and then immediately proceeds to the agent's calendar to automatically create a new meeting, even though it really should have thoroughly checked the contact information first. But perhaps, since I've already been actively messaging with him here within this system, it already inherently knows my email address. Now let's try doing this with another person. Alright, the meeting with Sergey Chabadze has been successfully scheduled for today, the 22nd. The email has been sent. If you have any additional questions or tasks, please let me know. Great. Now I'll check who else I have in my database. So I also have Max Yurchenko. Okay. I also have Max Yurchenko. So let's send it. Let's try with him. So please make an important appointment with Max Yurchenko for precisely 9 o'clock tonight, and then promptly send him a comprehensive and detailed letter. Let's take a look. Test, workflow test. Now it will pull up the last message that it recorded. Yes. And we look. Okay, it's starting. So, he goes to the agent's contact, tries to find information there, because he doesn't know anything about him now. Then he goes to the agent's calendar and the agent's email. And as you can see on the bottom left, you can see that the meeting with Max Yurchenko is scheduled. Here, I used my own email for this. And we see that it's scheduled for 9 o'clock. Now let's try to reschedule the meeting, for example. So, I have a meeting with Sergey Chabadze today at 8 in the evening. Please reschedule it. No, let's do it differently. I have a meeting with Sergey Chabadze today. Please move it to 11 o'clock in the evening and send a notification about it. I just didn't want to specify to him exactly what time my meeting was. Let him look it up himself using the calendar and reschedule it. Let's take a look. By the way, he just went into contacts. Did you notice? He hadn't gone there before, but now he did. Alright, great. So, the meeting with Maxim Yurchenko is still set for 9. The meeting with Sergey Chabadze has been moved to 10 in the evening. Okay. For today at this time, 11. Oh, right. Well, let's see. Now I'll listen to you. See, he just moved it to 10, even though I said 11. Let's try again. I asked to reschedule the meeting for 11, but you set it for 10 o'clock. And let's check how he handles this task. I didn't even specify which meeting I wanted to set for 11 o'clock. Let's take a look. Also, the email agent, calendar, and... Alright. Okay, good. Excellent. Now, let's ask it, for example, to send all of the currently available meeting options to someone, say, Maxim Yurchenko. So now let's try to get all of the available slots I have for appointments today, and then have it send that important information by email, perhaps even with a confirmation and a follow-up. Check what available slots I have in my calendar for today, and send an email to Max Yurchenko with the available options for booking. So let's say like this, let's see. It's all repeating the same thing here. By the way, here I'm using the 4.0 model, because for the main agent it shouldn't be the 4.0 mini, but the full 4.0. That is, a more powerful model, since it has a lot of subordination tools here it needs to analyze. So, the available slots for today have been sent to Maxim Yurchenko by email. If you had or didn't have a task, let me know. Let's see what was sent. There. Okay, now I'll find the letter. Hello, Maxim. I hope you are fine. I would like to offer you a few time slots before our meeting. That is, today 18:27 to 21 and 22:23, from 22 to 23. Everything is fine. He sent exactly the one that was free. Very convenient. So I wrote myself this message. Hi, Sergey, let's meet tomorrow for a cup of tea. Best regards, Sergey Chabadze. And I want to try to answer it through this bot. Let's see if he can handle this task. Reply to the last message from Sergey Chabadze and tell him that we won't be able to meet for a cup of tea tomorrow because I'm on vacation, and in 2 weeks I'll be back from vacation and we'll definitely meet. Let's see how it handles this task. Let's run it. Actually, there's still a considerable amount that can be further improved and thoroughly tested here to perfectly fit your specific needs. But for now, let's precisely see how it effectively checks the email. Now it will find this message. Okay, and it writes, I replied to Sergey Chabadze, letting him know that you won't be able to meet for tea tomorrow because you're on vacation. I also informed him that you'll be back in 2 weeks and will contact him to arrange a meeting. If you need anything else, please let me know. And now I'll find this message and open it. Let's take a look. So here's what it replied. Hi, Sergey Sergey. Unfortunately, I can't meet for tea tomorrow because I'm on vacation. I'll be away for 2 weeks and will message you when I return to arrange a meeting. That's how this agent works. Now, another feature I'd like to show you is creating some content, a draft, and preparing a draft email to send. So, for example, let's say, create an article about the Bermuda Triangle. The maximum length is approximately 1,000 characters, and create a new draft to send to Sergey Chabadze. Here it's important to clearly state the first and last name so it doesn't get distorted, especially if the last name is complicated like mine, so it doesn't get mangled, doesn't change the letters and finds the correct information. So we can clearly see that it addressed, specifically called upon the content creator, and also called the contact agent to find out more detailed information about me. And then it calls the email agent to create a draft. Alright, let's see what response we get from it now. Okay. The draft email for Sergei Cherbadsky on the topic of the article has been successfully created. You can review it and send it whenever it's convenient for you. So let me find it now and open it for you. Alright. These are indeed interesting and useful tools that you can use for, well, personalized birthday greetings or for certain specific topics. Yeah. So, Sergei Cherbadsky, yes, it has indeed created a very nice, truly beautiful article that you can readily send. Okay? I won't go into detail about each email agent, calendar agent, contact agent, how they're set up, how these nodes are connected, because many of you already know how to work with N8N, and you can download these templates by going to my Telegram channel, where I'll attach them, and you can download them there. And for those who don't know how to work with it, how to connect things, and want to understand automation in more detail or start from scratch, no technical knowledge required, I want to invite you to my N8N course, which is still in development. But you can already easily follow the convenient link in the comments or in the description and simply leave your email address so that when the course is finally ready, you'll get a timely notification. And of course, there will be a discount for those who sign up for it in advance. Oh, and I also want to mention that after you leave your email address, there will be a prompt, a request to go to a Google form and kindly take a brief, comprehensive survey about this particular course offering. There are literally 5 questions, but they're very important because these questions, the answers to them, will influence the structure of the course, which is still being developed. And I might even re-record some lessons that I've already made, because from the responses I can see that certain points need to be covered in more detail and depth. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and sign up for early access to my course on N8N. I also want to give a special thanks to Nate Hork for his workflow. I carefully watched how he does it and used his approach as an excellent example, just tweaking a few minor things for the Russian-speaking audience and also diligently editing some potential security risks. Because in his example the token was used directly within the request body, which is generally not recommended for security best practices. And that, of course, is a vulnerability. If you've watched my previous videos about how not to store tokens and how dangerous it can be if you do, and what risks you might face, risks you really need to avoid. Well, that's all for today. See you in the next video.